Merci Jean-Marc, j'apprécie.
So welcome folks to tonight's regular meeting of Town Council, held on November the 16th. I need to speak to you after the meeting. Alright, I just was waiting for a green light to go ahead. Yes, well thank you very much everyone, and welcome. I need a motion to allow us to get out of the closed meeting that we were in. Fine. Fine. I move that we come out of the closed meeting, seconded by Councillor Simard. Thank you very much. So now you have to open up the regular meeting of Town Council. Well, that's fine. Let's go on now to announcements, Mrs. Simard. Well, I have many. Many announcements. Yes. I'm sorry, hold on a minute. There are directives that were given during the course of the closed meeting session we attended, and that's it. We'll take care of things from this point on. It's a bit hard to hear you whisper from afar there. That's why I have to lean over to hear what you're saying. Mrs. Simard, the Optimist Club will be hosting a spaghetti supper at the community center in Saint-Pascal Friday, this coming Friday from 5 to 7. Now, in Saint-Pascal, there's going to be a charity fair on the 28th of November from 9 o'clock to 12 noon. Let us not also forget the City of Clarence and Rockland sponsored activities that will be held. Can everyone hear me? Fine. That's fine then. Sorry about that. There'll be a Santa Claus parade, of course, hosted by City of Clarence and Rockland, held next Sunday, November 22nd, as of 4:30 p.m. and also be on the 27th of November at 7 o'clock, a community sharing event that will help out the Rockland Community Help Center. And there's also going to be a free Christmas movie family night on the 28th of November. Movie broadcast at noon in French and at 2:30 in the afternoon in English. Any other announcements? This is Mrs. Lefebvre's last meeting with us. Yes, it is, unfortunately. You've been with us now for the past 29 years. Wow. When you started off, I don't even know if I had been born yet. I'm telling you, I'm still a young man. I'm so sorry if I said that. What can I say? Well, Mrs. Lefebvre, you'll miss us greatly, and we, all of us, wish you a good retirement. You'll really be missed by all of us. I won't say any more because I know that tears will start flowing. That's fine. No other announcements? That's fine. Fine. Question period. Question period. Anyone? Anyone? Yes, you'll have to step up to the podium, ma'am. Go ahead. Your name and your address to start off with, please. Annick Bazinet, 33 Lavigne Road in Bourget. Yes, Mrs. Bazinet, thank you very much. I'm here before Town Council tonight to speak on behalf of Mr. Laurier-Lalonde with regards to the renewal of his permit allowing him to continue his scavenging activities at the Bourget landfill. Now, for those who don't know Mr. Lalonde, he's been conducting scavenging activities for the past 30 years, and his passion is to help out people and to repair and recycle broken objects. I've known Mr. Lalonde for the past 20 years. I am a single mother, and Mr. Lalonde has helped me in bringing things for my son, a bicycle, skates, toys. And here's another example of Mr. Lalonde's generosity. Mr. Lalonde also found a tricycle, repaired it, and gave it to a child that had need of it. Now, this child had never had the occasion of driving a bicycle, much less a tricycle, but now he can. Now, nearly each and every year, or week should I say, Mr. Lalonde recycles and picks up objects that he brings to the Bourget thrift shop. Now, this is 2015, and of course, we don't come across people like him each and every day. people like him that picks up and repairs objects. And last year, Mr. Lalonde did everything that was required of him to obtain a renewal of his permit. And I don't understand why he has to come up each and every year before Town Council and ask that his permit be renewed. I'm asking everyone that is in attendance here tonight that has supported Mr. Lalonde, that is here to support Mr. Lalonde, to please stand up and be recognized. Well, thank you very much, then, ma'am. Everyone is here to support Mr. Lalonde. Thank you. Any other questions? Your name and your address, sir. Good evening. My name is Michel Forget. I live at 1376 Schnupp Road in Bourget, and I'm the chairperson of the Bourget Le Portage Thrift Shop. I'm here to support Mr. Lalonde in his endeavors. Now, for the past few years, Mr. Lalonde has been bringing objects to the thrift shop, objects that were thrown away at the landfill were repaired by Mr. Lalonde. We've received objects from him, so many objects, ranging from construction boots up to electrical stoves. I know that his services are greatly appreciated by all those working at Le Portage Thrift Shop, those volunteers, and hopefully he'll be supported in his pastime that has become of great help to all volunteers and people in our community. Thank you. And your name and your address? Thank you. Good evening. My name is Michel Lafleur, and I live at 1649 Joannès Road, quite close to the Vinette and Joannès intersection. I would have a question concerning one of the subjects that will be dealt with, voted on tonight. And it concerns the accident that occurred quite recently. Many occurred in that vicinity last year, and I'd like to know the following. Does the city of Clarence and Rockland have access to the OPP reports that are drafted with regards to accidents? And if the city of Clarence and Rockland has a process in place that enables it to revise the contents of the report and allows it to consult all city of Clarence and Rockland departments and bring about any corrective measures if needed. Mr. Sabourin, do you know if we have an access to the report? Not to the police officers' reports, of course, but we, the firefighters, since 2005, have had occasion to attend incidents that occurred at that particular incident, or intersection, should I say, the last one that occurred last month, the most recent one. Those are calls that we were asked to attend that required direct firefighter intervention. That does not take into account those calls or those accidents that might have occurred there, those incidents that are not as serious but that still require police intervention. I don't have police reports, all of the police reports, but in my program, in my breakdown, I do have 10 incidents that have been noted in which we were required to intervene. So do you wish to see the report? No, I don't want to see the report, but I'm wondering if there is an internal process that not only involves police officers, but also public works, infrastructure, you know, so on and so forth. Well, I can see what the procedures with regards to this are. Well, to start off with, concerning procedures, you know, we can talk about what can be done. But Joannès is a county road. It's a county road. I've noticed on the agenda tonight that there's a motion to, or requiring, that the county be advised that a stop sign be put up, a four-way stop sign be put up in that area. Councillor Lalonde, Mr. Mayor, I had occasion to talk to Mr. Marc Clermont approximately 2 days after that particular accident had occurred. Definitely, he was in process of conducting an investigation. This is a road, as our fire chief alluded to, it's a county road. Definitely, a police report is available with regards to what occurred, though. So we'll certainly proceed with a small investigation to determine what procedures involved in all of this are. And
other questions?
Keep you informed. Any other questions then? Fine. Let's go on now to consent items. Are there any consent items to be withdrawn from the list? Items 10.4 and items 10.2. 10.4 and, I'm sorry, 10.4 and 10.8. Any other items then? With regards to consent items, fine. I believe I wish to withdraw also 10.10 so that we might clarify that item further. Well, that's fine. That's it then? Fine. Councillor Grimard, care to read those consent items for the benefit of all in attendance and those tuning in? Yes. Be it resolved that all consent items identified on the agenda of our regular meeting of Town Council on November 16th be adopted. 10.1, adoption of the minutes of the following meetings. A, Committee of the Whole meeting of November the 2nd, 2015, and B, regular meeting of November the 2nd, 2015. 10.2, receipt of the minutes of the following meeting. Planning Committee of October 1st, 2015. 10.3, the following items as recommended by the Committee of the Whole. A, recommend to the UCPR the installation of a four-way stop sign at the intersection of Vinette and Zoanis roads, and B, appoint the accounting firm BDO Canada LLB or LLP to audit the financial statements of the city for the fiscal years ending December 31st, 2015 to 2017, inclusively. 10.5, to support the 46th Carnival of the Clarence Creek Lions Club. Point 6, to adopt 2016 Council meetings calendar. Point 7, to authorize the transfer of the city's part of the La Rose Forest project to the General Reserve. Point 8, point 11, I'm sorry, to hire a community services director, and 10.12, to hire 2 municipal bylaw enforcement officers. Fine. Seconded by Councillor Simon. I was going to say Councillor Grimard. I apologize. All those in favor? Carried then, thank you. So, let's go on now to item 10.4. Yes? Resolved that the salaries paid from September the 27th, 2015 to October the 24th, 2015 in the gross amount of $830,077.95 and the net amount of $608,429.47 be adopted as recommended. Yes, Councillor Grimard, does anyone have any follow-up questions or comments? Well, the reason that I asked that this be withdrawn from the list of consent items, if I compare the amounts as compared to the previous month, we have $111,000 worth more of salaries that were paid. Did we have occasion to pay more overtime, more than usual during the past month? We had 100. We had that much more to pay during that particular week, or month, should I say. Mr. Chair, I'm just thinking back. I'm not sure if it was during that time period that we had 3 pays. That would cause a higher math, of course. We'll come back to councillors with the answer, because as I asked before, you know, I like to get the overtime report, you know, overtime hours that are paid. So you'll have to make a note of that, sir, to make sure that this is forward. Fine. Well, if it's the will of council, I'll do so. Sure.
You have to bring.
You have to bring. It's public. It's a public document. Yes.
You have to bring.
You have to bring. Do we have to adopt a resolution to allow access to that? If it's a public document, well, that's fine then. That's fine. So.
Noted.
Fine. Noted. Thank you. That's it. Yes. We have to vote on this, however. All those in favor? All right. Fine. Fine. We haven't modified anything. No, there's nothing to be modified. I just had a question with regards to the overtime that would have been paid, the surplus amount that would have been paid that past month. All right, let's go on now to item 10.8. 10.8. I would like that this item be tabled until the next meeting. Item 10.8 then. Seconded by to have this deferred until the next meeting. Yes, all those in favor then? Councillor Grimard, yes, all those in favor? Fine then. It was close to not being accepted. So this item has been deferred? Yes. Item 10.10, to hire a community services director. Be it resolved that Town Council accepts that Mr. Pierre Boucher be named full-time community services officer as of the 30th of November 2015, and be it also resolved that Mr. Boucher's salary be established at level 2, class 7 of the non-unionized salary grid employees. Employee salary grid, shall I say. Seconded by Councillor Simard. All those in favor? Thank you.
Merci.
Fine then. Let's go on now to the committee and staff reports, the infrastructure report 11.1. Whereas Resolution 2014 was allowed to allow Mr. Lalonde to continue his scavenging activities contrary to recommendations by the department. Be it resolved Resolution 2014-121 be revoked, and be it also resolved that all scavengers be immediately banished from the landfill site. Seconded by? No one wishes to vote in opposition. Well, I'm going to second to at least open up the conversation. Well, all you can do then, all you may do is just to proceed with seconding the motion and then quickly proceed to a vote. The vote was taken and the motion, as it initially stood, has been defeated. Do we have to come up with a new resolution then? That's right. So, whereas then Resolution 2014-121 has been adopted to allow Mr. Lalonde to continue with scavenging activities at the Bourget landfill site on Saturdays, be it resolved, so we don't need to revoke that resolution, and be it also resolved that all scavengers, well, we don't need to deal with any other scavengers, we're dealing with Mr. Lalonde. Right, seconded by Councillor Chouanière. I'd just like to make sure of the following. Now, at this point in time, you've come up with a whereas, but there's no be it resolved. Well, be it resolved then that Mr. Lalonde be granted the right to continue his scavenging activities. Well, there's already an agreement that was entered into. All we need to do is to renew the understanding, the agreement. The agreement has already been reviewed by our lawyers, so we can go ahead. Does he have to come before Town Council each and every year to renew this agreement? Well, you see, the contract states that Mr. Lalonde has to come up with proof of insurance each and every year, you know. He has to come up with proof of insurance renewal each and every year, prior to the renewal anniversary date each and every year. Also, we asked him to come up with proof of insurance. We have this now. Furniture, finisher, snow removal, and scavenger. Fine. Mr. Lalonde, do you have a question? No, that's fine. That's fine. All those in favor then? Just to be very precise, I'd like to know exactly what the be it resolved is. Is it that you wish that Mr. Lalonde have the right to attend the landfill site, or do you wish to indicate that the agreement with Mr. Lalonde be renewed? That it be renewed, yes. Subject to the conditions that were put forward to him by Town Council in the past. Fine. And I'd like to thank everyone that attended tonight. It shows that a lot of people are helped out by Mr. Lalonde's activities. As far as I'm concerned, I find it quite hypocritical to have a recycling system in place when we don't allow other individuals to, you know, perform recycling activities. As far as I'm concerned, what we've done tonight makes more sense. Yes, I'd like to, Mr. Councillor Levin, yes, I'd like to congratulate congratulate Laurier, congratulate him for all those people that he's helped throughout the years through his scavenging activities. If everyone would be impassioned as you are in conducting activities such as you do, we wouldn't even have to have blue boxes at individual homes. Ma'am, I'd just like to specify that there was a memo stemming from the insurance broker. I just wanted to make sure that you saw this next in the package that was before you. I just wanted also to clarify the following. Is your intent that the agreement be renewed automatically without him appearing before council on a regular basis or not? Well, that's a good question. I'd be content with him just supplying a proof of insurance. that a proof of insurance be supplied to council each and every year prior to the end date of the yearly agreement. Well, you see, the insurance was contracted in June, and, well, as of June, if the insurance provisions are renewed in June each and every year, and you're still covered, well, at that point in time, you know, the permission we're granting you is renewed automatically. And this particular bylaw might be avoided at a certain point in time, governing that particular principle. Do you wish that this also lasts during the duration of the sitting of this particular council? It should last during the sitting of this particular council, and then we can come up with a resolution to be dealt with by the next council after 4 years. I just want to make sure. Do you want us to indicate that it be automatically renewed upon the individual presenting a renewal, an insurance renewal each and every year, each and every June, yes, during the term of this council? Well, if the next council wishes to void this, then they could, of course, abrogate this particular bylaw or agreement. Mr. Lalonde, I just wanted to refer you to comments given by our legal counsel to the effect that we have to. Well, you see, the legal notice that we received, the legal advice that we received, was received prior to the individual obtaining proof of insurance. Mr. Kehoe, is there anything you wanted to add to this? No, that's fine. Everything's fine. All right then. Well, all those in favor? All right then. Fine. Let's go on now to item 11.2. Accounts paid. Councillor Lalonde, please. Be resolved that the accounts paid for the period October 9th, 2015 to November the 5th, 2015 in the amount of $4,057,169.64 be adopted as recommended. Seconded by? By? The other councillor Lalonde, all those in favor then? Carried? Fine. We're just going to take a second or two to have people leave the room. Do you need a bathroom break? No. I'm just asking for a quick break to allow those people to leave the room. Maybe a quick 5 minutes and fine. Fine. So is everything crystal clear? With regards to the Laurier Lalonde matter, that's fine. Fine. We'll keep rolling and allow the people to leave the room. We'll keep the cameras rolling then. Can we continue on then? All right, fine. Councillor Lalonde, do you have something else to add? I just have a question. I talked about this at Storm Internet, and we paid $2,790 for corrections brought about by Storm Internet. I broached that issue last week. I recall when we undertook particular steps to enter into an agreement with Storm Internet that we wouldn't pay 1 single cent as long as we allowed them to install the antenna on the water reservoir. Did we come up with that agreement or not? I asked that we come up with this agreement to verify that particular fact. Well, we'll take a look at this. Councillor Lalonde, what page are you referring to with regards to accounts paid? Page 138, sir. The Storm Internet item. Here there are 2 sub-items or items. One item involving $2,700. One of those 2 involves a $2,700 amount. At page 140. 140. Town, well, see, that's what I'm wondering here. Rocklin Town Hall entrance. There's an amount of $7,281 involved in works that would have been performed at the entrance of to Town Hall. Well, we had to redo the exterior of Town Hall, engineering costs, inspection, preparing plans and specifications to be able to perform the necessary work next year. I was wondering if there was some work that was done in the meantime. Well, thank you. Page 163 also, another item. Page 163. Page 163. expenditures $711,877 for work performed on Caron Street. I just want to know where we're at with our budget with regards to Caron Street. There's still work to be done there? Hold on, we'll look into that. You want to know where we're at with regards to budget? Yes. Are we following the budgetary guidelines? Yes, we're actually, we're very much under what was required. Well, fine. We'd already received a report in the past stating that we were under the stated amount, and we're still under budget. We're still under budget. If I recall correctly, it hovers around the $1.1 million mark. We're up to about $700 and some odd thousand. Well, Mr. Chair, the budget is in your drafted budget, and when we present the budget later, I'll refer you to that particular page with regard to that particular expense item. Fine. Page 181 now. Item 69730. I'd just like us to obtain the report with regards to this. I have nothing against repairs performed, but I'd like to have an idea as to the condition in which the building is in before investing hundreds of thousands of dollars to shore up that particular building. You know, what page are you alluding to? Page 181. Item 79730. Geometry. You're talking about the Bouchette Station renovation? Well, again, the same rule applies. We assess the structure involved, and the report will be forwarded to Town Council as of December, so you'll obtain a full report from J.L. Richards. It's a fairly thick report. Mr. Juvenville will give you an overview, though, or highlight the shape in which the building is in. We even have amounts suggested by J.L. Richards as to what should be invested in there. Because all members of Town Council visited that establishment, Mr. Miranda told us there was a report that had been prepared, but we haven't set eyes on that particular report yet. Fine. So, but it's in the works? Yes. And we'll obtain a copy when it's prepared? Yes. And it's scheduled for discussion in December. Fine. Fine. So, let's go on now to item 191. Roofing work that was performed. Let me see here. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll withdraw my question that deals with the... No, that's fine. I'll leave it. That's fine. That's fine. Yes, Councillor Levain. It's just a question of interest. Page... what's the number of the... page 163. I noticed that we had occasion to change the culverts, and we have the costs associated with the change of the culverts there. Now, do we still have consultants? Do we always have consultants to supervise, you know, the change of culverts? I see that there's a charge for $1,300 with regards to consultant fees. Page 163. So I'm wondering what's what. Let me see here. Well, I'll have to get back to you on that. All right. This might have been work that was done on Russell Road, jointly with the United Counties. Well, it says Pilon Road. It's on Pilon Road. Oh, I'm sorry, Pilon Road. Oh, I see. But do we
hire a consultant for changing culverts?
Do we have consultants involved when changing culverts? Honestly, I cannot answer that. Isn't there... well, to change culverts, well, it depends on the size of the culvert. Mr. Pilon, if you have a municipal drain there, consultants might become involved if the municipal drain comes into play. Well, we changed 2 culverts on Pilon, part and parcel of our municipal drain system. It's our drainage superintendent that does monitor, that performs the inspection, but those other times, involving capital expenditure projects, of course,
Private entrances, we do it in-house.
involving private entrances, we do work in-house. But I imagine we're dealing with a bigger culvert because it's on a municipal sewer service. Municipal drain,
For us. All of the work
superintendent works for us, you see, and all of the work with regards to municipal drain
inspected by the municipal
Drains
drain attendant.
has to
Then
be
at the end of the year,
inspected by municipal drain attendant, and at the end of the year, everything then, at the end of the year, would be back charged upstream,
we get grants.
to those landowners. We get grants, 50% of his salaries, we get refunded by the Ministry of Agriculture. So Leroux Consultant is the municipal drain inspector. Yeah, he's our municipal drain inspector. Yes, he'll, December 7th, I believe they'll be attending to give us a presentation. Oh, that's fine. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. You see, our drainage superintendent does have consultant duties, but in response to your question as to culverts, do we retain consultants depending on the size? If it's a large culvert, actually there's going to be one coming up shortly with regards to Laurier Street, so yes, some consultants are hired. During
Mr. Darch, I believe.
we'll stick with Mr. Darch, page 162 of our documents. Page,
I see an amount of $15,000
for RFP EH Sterling St. Joseph. I'd like to know what RFP means and where are we at with the environment assessment program. Well, I'm just going to ask Richard to, well, it's a request for proposal. The RFP is a request for proposal, firstly. So the question is, well, I got part of my answer about where we're at with the regards to the environmental assessment concerning St. Joseph and Sterling. They're still working on it. We're still providing some data. They still have a lot of questions. They're requesting some data from us, some traffic counts that we do have, data contained in our files, various information they need to proceed. And I don't know if I can say this, whether there's a 50% markup or not, but they're still ready to proceed early in the spring in order to start the design immediately after and be ready for construction as soon as feasible. We're anticipating that the project will remain within budget parameters as of 2016. But I thought we had a time estimate for December with regards to this. Yes, I understand. But when we presented it to council, it was delayed just a tad bit. So it will be a little bit over December. It will be sometime during the new year. But we'll forecast that this will be done in 2016? Yes. And one last question again on St. Joseph. We see further down for $5,200. St. Joseph Design Geotech Investigation. Can we have some more information on that? Is that the previous work that had been restarted? Geotech? I'm not too sure. I'll have to look into that. I'm not familiar with that particular area tonight. But, so the department will come back to me with regards to that? Yes, sure. Can I just ask you a question on this particular question? What was the delay exactly with regards to the environmental assessment that caused us to go from December? Well, we had to bring it to council to have it warranted, really. That's the only reason. I believe it was presented in August or September, I think. It was supposed to be presented approximately a month or a month and a half earlier at council, and it was delayed. I see. Well, thank you then. Mr. Darsh? I believe in that project there were 1 or 2 meetings ago there was concern in our status report with regards to the 2016 and 2017 date, and we've since committed that the construction work will take place in 2016. Looking, Richard and consultant with the view of how can we fast track this, to get the EA, the design done, and see what we can do currently, so we can, you know, tender to that work as early as possible in 2017. So 2016. Oh, I'm sorry, 2016. Oh, did I say 2017? 2016. I apologize. Yeah, 2016 for sure. But what we'll do is this. You see, we'll have that meeting and we can provide members of council with an update on the results of that discussion with the consultants in terms of our ability to fast track it in time. Well, thank you, sir. Just another thing also, Mr. Chair, 2016, we'll be looking at our supplied bylaw, so the bylaw will delegate to us as to what we're able to do, so we'll have to come back to council. We'll have a full review of that document. It's probably in excess of about 10 or 15 years old. So right now, as you're aware, we have to come back to council, so we'll like to recommend some modifications to that will help us to fast track. We'll have to come back before council for that. Mr. Levert, my apologies, I cut you off there. Fine. On the street construction, engineering, page 162, 8,228 for Gagne Road. What's that for? They prepared, well, they did the design and prepared drawings for tender.
Which is not going to happen.
Well, that's not going to happen this year, though? No, it's not. Not this year. Okay, all right. Fine. But soon thereafter. They're doing the design as we said, but it is a project that we've identified in our budget that's coming up with regards to funding, so it will be a work that we're going to proceed with in 2016. Thank you. Fine, that's it. All right then. Fine. Any other questions? All those in favor then? Fine. Carried, thank you. Item 12, bylaws. Someone care to read the bylaws? Are there items that should be withdrawn? Well, we've already dealt with consent items, now we're into bylaws, that's fine. Be it resolved that the following bylaws be adopted. 2015-141 to authorize the signature of an agreement with the United Counties of Prescott and Russell for the enhancement of salary for the daycare staff. 12.2, 2015-144 to establish the terms of reference of the Dumoulin Park Advisory Committee. 12.3, 2015-147 to authorize the signature of an agreement with Ghislain Lalonde Enterprise for the rental of a grader with an operator. 12.4, bylaw 2015-149 to amend zoning bylaw 2006-3 by removing the holding zone symbol H for part of Lot 5, Concession 6, La Bonté Street, Clarence Creek. 12.5, 2015-153 to dedicate as public highway parcels of land regarding the enlargement of Caron Street. 2015-155 to appoint municipal bylaw enforcement officer. 12.7, 2015-156 to appoint a municipal bylaw enforcement officer again. Seconded by Councillor Levert. All those in favor then? Fine, that's fine then. So thank you very much. Item 13, confirmatory bylaw. Councillor André Lalonde, if you care to read the confirmatory bylaw. Council adopt bylaw 2015-154 being confirmed with bylaw for the regular meeting of Town Council held on the 16th of November 2015. Seconded. Monsieur Levert, thank you very much. Adjournment called at 8:06 p.m.